Now in stage 3 we're going to be assembling the dial assembler, and we're also going to be fitting the tyre to the rim. Now before we start, you'll notice that there'll be a white chalky substance on the tyre. Now this is called blooming. It's a natural effect that occurs to rubber over time, and we need to get rid of that. And the best way to do that is to wash this into the normal detergent, warm soapy water, and put that aside, allow that to dry naturally. Okay, and then we'll come back once that's done and we'll put the tyre onto the rim. Okay, once you've done that, take your rim from stage 2 and gently start to work the tyre onto the rim. Be very gentle as you're going around. Just gently stretch the tyre over, like so. Until the tyre is on. You could always use a little piece of, or a little bit of washing up liquid. It's a bit like the tyre when you're putting the tyres on your push bike. But as long as you're gentle and you're careful, it should pop on quite easily. Just take your time. Once that's on, just gently work it around like so, and there is your front tyre and rim done. Now once again, put that back into a bag, put that aside until we come back with this for a future stage. Now in this stage we're going to be fitting the needles to the dials. Okay, so you've got 2 needles, you've got 2 pins, and you've got 2 fasteners. Okay, so you need to take one of your needles with a pair of tweezers and place that over the dial hole, and then taking your pin, place that through the centre of the needle into the hole like so, gently picking that up, turn it over, holding the pin in, and then with the fastener you need to push the fastener gently down over the needle like so. Okay, and I'll turn that slightly to the side so you can see what I mean, so that then you have your needle. Now your needle is going to have a tendency to drop, okay, because you don't want to have a needle that just drops to the bottom. So just gently, if you can see me doing that, gently push that down further so that the needle end pokes through, and you'll notice now that you can actually place the needle wherever you want. So I'll have that on the red dot. Now we'll do exactly the same for the other one, and once we've done that, we're then going to be putting them into the limiter, rev limiter housing. Next we're going to be fitting the dials to the instrument housing. So notice, if I turn it around that way, the position that they're going, so that the housing and the cables are hanging down. Now the speedometer is going to go on the left hand side, and you'll notice there's a tiny little pin at the top here, and that needs to sit on the groove that you can see just here. If I can just point that out. Okay, so take your speedometer, place that in that position, and then with your tachometer once again. I'll tell you what, we'll do one at a time, make it a lot easier. Now once you've done that, take your housing and your lens, and once again you'll notice, take the lens out, we've got a tiny little raised pin here, and if you look on either of the speedometer or tachometer, you'll notice there's a tiny, if I move it out of the way, goes blue, white, tiny little hole here. And what we need to do is, that needs to line up into that hole. Once you've done that, take your cover, place your cover over the top, and just gently turn it around until you notice that that will fall into place. Do exactly the same to your tachometer, taking the lens, aligning the hole into position, and taking the housing from there, place it on, just gently turn it around until that then drops into position like so, and then you'll need to get a little bit of tape just to hold those so that you don't lose those, ready for the next stage. Now once you're happy with that and you've got all the holes are aligned, just press the housings down firmly into position into the holes so that your tachometer and speedo are nicely finished. Now take the top yoke that came with this stage and take your instrument housing that we've just assembled, and you'll notice that you've got two recesses here and here, and obviously you've got two protrusions here and here, and we need to place those in there like so, and then taking two of the three screws, the third screw is a spare, okay, but taking one of these screws, placing that in the back, and then just nip that up, don't over tighten it, alright, just enough, get it secure. Once again, same with the second one. It's nice like that, and that completes this stage.